it's a doozy, Foster. Let me tell you, some of the things that I heard, they left me confounded, kerfuffled, and quite confused. A few more adjectives: flabbergasted, befuddled. You know, I feel that we need to share this with our viewers and just listen to this and take notes. I know you're very famous for taking notes. So I have my notepad here and I am about to start taking notes.
I will.
Because this address had me completely floored. It starts out innocent enough, but then you
know, coming from the Prime Minister, it will come.
Yes.
Something will hit the fan sometime.
Yes. So we're heading to the Prime Minister's. Folks, we are about to bring you or take you to the Prime Minister's New Year's address that aired last evening. And I'm just going to let it speak for itself. I'm not going to preempt this at all. I'm just going to let this speak for itself. So, Foster, here we go. Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre. I'm going to fast forward to where the video starts. Okay, hold on.
Fellow Solutions, as we welcome a new year, I extend warm year greetings to you and your families at home and abroad. I do so with a deep sense of gratitude, humility, and responsibility. On December 1st, you exercised your democratic right and renewed your confidence in the government of the St. Lucia Labour Party. I thank you sincerely for that trust. Elections are never just about victory or defeat. They're about the direction a people choose. Your overwhelming choice reaffirmed a shared belief in fairness, inclusion, stability, and progress. The choice reaffirmed our collective resolve to move forward together with love and compassion. You rejected bitterness, divisiveness, hatred, and anger. As we begin 2026, it's appropriate to reflect on how far we have come and to look honestly and confidently at the road ahead. When we assumed office in 2021, St. Lucia, like the rest of the world, was emerging from major disruption. We face unprecedented economic uncertainty, rising global prices, and deep social strain. Yet together, we choose resilience over despair, unity over division, and people-centered governance over indifference. Over the past 4 years, we have worked deliberately to stabilize the economy, protect the most vulnerable, and rebuild opportunity. Our economy has recovered, jobs have returned, unemployment has dropped to its lowest level, and confidence has been restored. But more importantly, we have remained guided by a single principle: government must work for people. In healthcare, we delivered on a long-standing national promise. The commission of the St. Jude Hospital marked a turning point for healthcare in the South and our national health system. Over the last term, we have built and upgraded health facilities, strengthened primary care, expanded wellness centers, and increased access to screening and treatment for chronic illnesses. These investments are not abstract. They have saved lives, supported families, and affirmed dignity. This year, St. John will be fully commissioned to receive patients. We will commence work on the fifth finger of the OKA Hospital, continue renovation and expansion of the wellness centers, and most importantly, we will continue the implementation of the Universal Healthcare Program. In 2026, education will continue to be the main driver for transformative change and poverty reduction. We will modernize the system by increasing the use of technology in schools, creating more smart classrooms, and expanding the reach of technical, vocational, special, and universal early childhood education. Infrastructure remains a cornerstone of our development strategy. Roads, bridges, water systems, housing projects, and transport facilities continue to improve across the island. These projects create jobs today and unlock tomorrow's growth. We are modernizing our ports and airports, strengthening climate resilience, and ensuring that development reaches communities that have long been neglected for too long. In 2026, infrastructure work will continue on the control tower, together with the start of the construction of the Yono International Airport Terminal building. The upgrade of the Jewel Island Highway will commence, and the expansion and improvement of the VSUK Road will be completed. The rehabilitation of both Fork at Port Castries is scheduled to start soon. Housing developments at Talbot and Rockall will continue, with the construction of the Viewfort Administrative Complex scheduled to start before long. While most of our young people remain positive and focused, I continue to lament the loss of some young men to gangs and deviant behavior. Several initiatives will be implemented to keep our young men away from antisocial activities and to allow them to become productive citizens. Our country will continue to be a lesser place if we allow our young men to exist outside the laws and norms of a civil society. The enhancement of the youth economy is, in fact, intended to provide opportunities for those young men at risk to maximize their talents and creativity, enabling them to support themselves and become productive citizens. In my budget policy address later this year, I will announce several initiatives aimed at giving support to young men to allow them to upskill and to make a more meaningful contribution to society. The defacement of our physical environment with abandoned buildings, derelict vehicles, and unwanted household appliances, apart from being unsightly, is a health and security hazard. In the spirit of environmental responsibility, I call on the public to stop these unsavory practices for the good of our country. This year, we will enact the St. Lucia Unplanned Development Regulation Authority Bill to facilitate the regularization of unplanned developments. Last year, our business community experienced growth and expansion, demonstrating the confidence in the future of the solution economy. My administration is committed to providing the necessary support for a more productive private sector. Improvements to the ease of doing business is an area that lends itself to government support. We will therefore redouble our efforts so that we reconfigured Ministry of Commerce and Tourism to work more closely with the private sector to ensure that the rehabilitation at the Castries Cargo Port is completed at the earliest. In addition, together with the private sector, we work to streamline procedures for the clearing of goods from the ports to be more efficient and timely. As it relates to the use of technology, government will promote the responsible use of technology and artificial intelligence to help transform our government processes and education. We are committed to building a modern, technologically driven solution, one where government services are more efficient, businesses are more competitive, and the young people are equipped for careers in technology, innovation, and the global digital economy. This is not about replacing people with machines. It's about empowering people with tools. We'll also continue protecting workers and families through social protection, job security measures, and targeted support when global conditions create hardship. At the same time, we will continue to confront crime and violence with even greater resolve by strengthening law enforcement while addressing the social conditions that give rise to crime and violence. This year, we will advance plans for the introduction of an unemployment insurance program while encouraging retooling for our workers. I'm under no illusion that the road ahead will be challenging. Global uncertainty, climate threats, and economic pressures remain real. Recent developments in our wider hemisphere have underscored that reality. Events in Venezuela have reverberated across the Caribbean, disrupting air travel, affecting trade and tourism, and creating unsettling concerns for small, open economies like ours. In response to these recent geopolitical events, St. Lucia has reaffirmed its commitment to peace and the principles of international law that protect all nations, large and small. St. Lucia, as a member of CARICOM, stands committed to the principles of CARICOM. We believe that stability is best secured through dialogue, diplomacy, and respect for established international norms. We will continue to work with our regional partners to safeguard the Caribbean as a zone of peace. St. Lucia's foreign policy remains rooted in diplomacy, cooperation, and mutually beneficial shared interests. In this regard, the Cabinet of Ministers has approved a memorandum of understanding between the government of St. Lucia and the government of the United States to accept the potential transfer of certain third country nationals present in the United States. This agreement is non-binding and is at the complete discretion of both governments. The MOU establishes a framework for cooperation and does not trigger any immediate transfer and future engagements. The MOU is orderly, transparent, and consistent with the laws, policies, and national interests of St. Lucia. Let me make it clear that no agreement has been signed and no details are available. As I've always done on matters of national interest, I will provide all relevant and applicable information to the citizens of St. Lucia. I expect that there will be those who are supportive and those who are against providing such support to the United States. But I ask that you rest assured that I will always put you first and act in the best interest of the people of our beloved country, no matter how difficult the decisions may be. Let me assure solutions that as of today, there has been no information given to the government of St. Lucia regarding any changes in the United States visa policy for St. Lucia, and St. Lucians wishing to travel to the United States. Our future prosperity cannot be secured by government alone, but the destructive behavior of a critical mass can bring about harm to all of us. I plead for the responsible use of social media. Social media should not be used as a tool for misinformation, for slander, and the denigration of citizens in private or public life. While misinformation may appear to hurt political opponents, in the final analysis, it is the country that suffers. This year, let us recommit ourselves to unity, respect, and shared responsibility. Let us reject cynicism and embrace opportunity. Let us care for the most vulnerable by empowering them and create opportunities for future generations. I thank you once again for your trust, your patience, and your support. Together, we will continue to build a St. that is fairer, stronger, safer, and more prosperous. Let us work to make St. the best place to live and work for all. God bless you. God bless St. Lucia. I thank you.
Any thoughts, Foster?
Angie, you know I'm not in the habit of listening to this man at all.
You are not
So for the last
the
5 minutes,
only
yeah.
one. You are not the only one, and I've gotten messages. I'm being honest. I have gotten messages in the past couple of minutes saying, "Why are you listening to this guy? What we listening to
This
that
man is a
foolishness?"
dreamer. I always knew Philippe Pierre to be a dreamer.
Is he though?
But
Is
I took
he?
notes as it was going on. And
Somebody
I'm
saying,
hoping that
"PJP, enough with that poem."
oh Lord.
I'm telling you, okay.
I said the Our Father about 3 times.
In the last 5 minutes, Foster. Honestly, do you want to hear my take? Do you want to hear my take?
Yeah, we
on-
can
on
discuss
this?
some of the
Because
issues that you raised.
I think we need to discuss it. Okay, here's the thing. A lot of what he said, his plans to build smart classrooms and finish St. Jude's. Well,
Formation.
that oneself. I am. When I see St. Jude's, when I can go there and see a doctor, I will believe St. Jude's will be finished. Till then, I'm holding out. The jury is still out. That's one. He said he's going to start the fifth finger of OKEU. Again, when I get there, I'll cross that bridge. Talking about building smart classrooms, bridges, these are things that the government needs to do to, he spoke about trying to deal with crime. Understandable. But here's what I don't understand. I don't understand this. So, part of what he said was this. He said here, I'm going to go back and read it because I don't want to give any misinformation. You heard him say that we should not he said here that we will continue to work with our regional partners to safeguard the Caribbean as a zone of peace. St. Lucia's foreign policy remains rooted in diplomacy, cooperation, and mutually beneficial self-interest, which is great. This is what should happen. But then he also said over here, because they give you notes during the thing to make sure. He says, as of today, there has been no information given to the government of St. Lucia regarding any changes in the United States visa policy for St. Lucians wishing to travel to the United States. Quite redundant, Mr. Prime Minister. Whoever wrote that for you, I mean, anyway, I'll just shut your mouth. But here's what I really do not understand. If this is the case, if these statements are true, why, oh why, did he say, and I quote, the Cabinet of Ministers has approved the Cabinet of Ministers has approved a memorandum of understanding between the government of St. Lucia and the government of the United States to accept the potential transfer of certain third country nationals present in the United States. Why would you do that? Can you just give me one? Because, listen.
Third party. Go over that again.
Third country nationals.
Third country.
National. That are present in the United States. So meaning that we are going to be essentially agreeing to Guys, I'm sorry, but this is the
To
most,
accept.
hold on, this is the most succinct way that I can put this. We are agreeing to accept the United States trash.
Now, when you say, because I read elsewhere that they said refugees, are those people that we are going to be transferred
Not
prisoners
refugees,
or
honey. Not
or
refugees.
deportees?
Deportees.
So why are they called refugees in one case and prisoners in one case, in another case?
Think about it this way. If you are going to be bringing your mistress home for the night, you'll tell your wife is your mistress, Daddy? Or you're going to tell your wife, I met this stranger, she needs a place to sleep for the night, and I thought we can help. What would you say? Because my husband come and tell
I
me,
would hate to be in that situation.
that's exactly the situation that is exactly the situation. Somebody sent me you should be listening, you should hear the messages that are coming through, both on the on my personal phone and on the Facebook platform. And I'm gonna read through them because this is utterly ridiculous. Somebody says they signed that since before elections, trust me, and visas being denied, he lie. And then now on the Facebook platform, somebody says here, PJP, enough of that poem, I read that one. Tell PJP London, with a population of just less than 9 million, the total homicide number for the year 2025 was 94. St. Lucia, with an entire population of under 183,000, the homicides figures for the year 2025 is 84. Is St. Lucia safe? Somebody's saying the radio is off the air. That is not true. The radio is on the air. I'm looking at it now, and the server status is saying that we are on the air and broadcasting quite strongly. So maybe it's your radio that has an issue, but if you do have an issue, you can always use the link that is pinned onto this broadcast on the Facebook page, and you can listen to the broadcast through there. Two people are saying that, but no, it is the radio. We are on the air. I'm looking at it, and the server status is showing that we are broadcasting. Let me just double check. Yep, we are broadcasting loud and clear. So somebody says, you sign in something with no details, shaking my head. Another person says, lies. Somebody saying, what is he saying? Another person saying, PJP piss in our eyes and call it rain. Somebody says, LOL, Messier 16-1. What the rest of St. Lucia is thinking, who do this in an election, LOL. Okay. I don't know why you have to laugh at the people choice. The Prime Minister said the people chose him. I don't know why you have to laugh. That's quite mean. But it's your constitutional right to laugh if you see fit. Let me tell you another one says, by signing something with no details. Another person is saying, what a country. Another one says, well, CIP citizens coming home, LOL, 15,000. No, it's 15.000, well, 15,000. Remember, we never know who they were. CIP, LOL. Another person says, I second Chiquot, and finally, ashamed to be Lucian. These comments are really hurting my heart first. They are really touching me in the bosom right now, because wow, people really guys, I'm just saying, I have no choice but to accept the man because the man is the prime minister. Mais hot obligé foute nom la kal, te se kou kou pwe sa bakot li. But anyway, let's get back to let's get down to business. Here's the thing, Foster. A comment was made earlier on the Facebook page about crime in London, murders in London. This person is saying that London last year, with a population of over 9 million people, only had 94 homicides. As opposed to St. Lucia, with an entire population, remember London is just a city, with an entire population of less than 183,000 people, we had 84 homicides last year.
Is the figure right, 84?
I think so.
So we broke another record?
We broke another record. I think it was right because I was checking.
We lost count, there was not an update.
Oh, we have a caller on the line. Good afternoon, caller. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Angie. Good afternoon.
Foster,
good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, I understand what's going on in this country when it comes to health system. First, I find myself in an accident Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the hospital from about 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, 10 o'clock, I can't see a doctor.
Wow.
There are some people who were there. A gentleman who were there, you were making so much noise, they had to put him out. You were there from 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you can't see a doctor.
Hold on. You're saying that they denied a citizen health care?
No, because he was talking, they put him out.
What? Okay.
If you were complaining about the service, they put him out. That's the one that was there from 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock from up to 10.
And he's not allowed to complain about. I would be complaining.
But that's what you were doing, and they put him out. The other one was there from 9 in the morning, 10 o'clock. He still can't get. At time they say the doctor say he on his way coming.
What?
You understand? And people can't even talk. People can't talk because a lady was saying something. Another, I don't know that woman as a nurse, as any doctor, any part of health. But I used to see the lady on the road when they have STEP program. She used to be the supervisor. Mm-hmm. And I know she has a tour guide. I never know she had that kind of qualification to be what she was there Saturday. But, I just see her there. I surprised to see her there with document going in and out with uniform on her. When I know it's STEP program, she was there conducting STEP program as supervisor. And then she's a tour guide doing tours on the tourists with the buses.
Caller, let me just ask you. She's from our area, right?
Exactly.
I know you.
Foster, no wonder you were laughing, Foster. Foster, you're so mean. Well, you know what? Let us not listen, guys. We are not denying this lady. Maybe the lady could have taken a course, a night course, and she could have.
Night course, and she disrespecting a lady because the lady talked. She disrespecting the lady, and she was taking a night course.
Well, caller, I don't even know who. Foster seems to be in on the joke because he's laughing.
You know her. Foster know her well because I know her well. It's normally when they have an STEP program going up, she's the supervisor.
Now,
I'm surprised to see she holding that position in the hospital.
Well, you know what? Let's be happy for the lady. But caller, I have a specific question to ask you. Did you catch the Prime Minister's address to the nation last evening?
My God, you don't have the Belgian lady. The Belgian lady say, if we solution, we have no choice. That is the kind of man who put there as a Prime Minister. The man talking is dribbling. The man talking on is a bunch of foolishness. The man saying alone. The Belgian lady asks us if we would have no shame or if we would have no choice to put that man there as the Prime Minister.
Wow. Caller, what do you think about the Prime Minister's plan to accept third country nationals, meaning deportees that are not St. Lucian from the United States? Do you
Well, that one I supporting that one because if you're not from St. Lucia and they're deporting you here, it's gonna be a handful of problem for us because we don't even know. Some of them speak Spanish, some of them, I don't believe that's good at all. That's not good enough. But he hasn't responded to them yet and say yes or no.
Well, he
and
did. I mean, listen to what he said, Kola. He said he has approved, cabinet has approved the, let me read it for you directly because I don't want you to, he says cabinet has approved a memorandum of understanding between the government of St. Lucia and the government of the United States to accept the potential transfer of certain third country nationals present in the United States. So that means they have agreed to do it.
But Angie, but that is something, it's a mercy because right now these people, normally all America was asking them the name of the people they sell the passport for. They could have traced these people and see who that is a criminal. But then people never respond to that.
Right.
So right now, you don't know what the Congress lady say. The Congress lady say, we're coming for all of those that like to rig election. We're coming for all of them. The Congress lady that say, we're coming for all of them that like to rig election. Right now, we're going with Colombia. We're going Colombia. They don't say where next after Colombia. But they say they're going after all of them that like to rig election.
Well, I guess you're
saying that category. They better find this Dominica crying, Grenada crying. Grenada say the economy is going down low. Taxi driver can't make no money. Tourist arrival is going down low.
Mm-hmm.
The vendors on the beach can't make out. The flight very, very low. So right now Dominica is scared right now that Dominican can't travel. They can't get visa. So the Dominican are scared to try and do something about that. What you can do? What they can do?
But they're saying that St. Lucia is not in the same boat. In fact, the last we heard, our Minister of Tourism said we had the best year, record-breaking year. Isn't that what you heard, Foster? Then they were saying that there is no issue, and the Prime Minister just said it. We have no issue with our visas. The United States has no issue with us. When they've said to us several times that our CIP is not a threat to any other country's national security because we have the most robust due diligence process, remember? So why is it that we need to do this? Why do we need to do this if we are not the ones, we're not in problems? Don't you think this is a bit strange?
And 2 ministers go to Barbados and get visa and they denied both of them?
Well, they're not confirming that. They're saying that it's false.
It's false? It is false? They're trying to fool the people in St. Lucia because they know a lot of people illiterate. So the politicians trying to fool them with all kind of cocomacac thing. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But people get in the news. When the first one happened, right there I got from calling, his vehicle was back on the airport. On VG airport, that's where his vehicle was back.
Wow.
When he traveling. The other one goes, he and his 2 children. They give the children and they don't give him business. So that's false.
Well, that's what they're saying, caller.
Right now, the fellow don't want to let the nation know what's going on. Mm-hmm. After that kind of speech, the man giving the Beijing calling, other people calling and say, if we're not ashamed with that kind of prime minister we have there, no. The man talking and he dribbling on himself, and he can't even pronounce the word, he have to say it 2 times. What kind of prime minister is this? And when they say they win election, which election they win? You win election, you call in ballot, and you don't even say what polling division, how many vote cast. We ain't heard nothing like that. We just see numbers just coming on the screen. So what we think we are. Those that deck, I'm not no deck, because I following that from since 1960. So I know deck, not so people calling election, not so. US is inventing how it called clean.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We have 5 people on the table with laptop. We have another 2 over there with laptop. We have Lisa, we have Timothy with laptop. What do we need all of that for?
Well,
I know deck, and those that deck, let them stay. Deck, but I'm not one of them that deck. I know what's going on. But all those who take the money to do all them kind of cocoa marketing, all of them have to pay for it. All of them. All of them have to pay. It's just a matter of time, but they have to pay. So,
Thank you so much for that, caller. Thank you very much.
yeah, you're most welcome, my lady.
Yeah. All right. So, Foster, what is your take on this situation?
Angie, on that situation there with the food country nationals, I heard a program from Dominica where this is one of the conditions, one of three options given to Mrs. Skerritt to lessen or minimize the visa restrictions on him, to accept third country nationals. But why would we, if we have no such embargo on us, why should we accept that? Because I can tell you, I can recall very, very well this same St. Lucia Labour Party. Can you recall when there was a Hurricane Ivan in Grenada and St. Lucia accepted prisoners from Grenada for the time being?
But
Because the whole country was damaged.
that was because it was an emergency situation, one, because the prison was damaged, and those prisoners were housed at our prison.
Yes.
So it wasn't a situation where they were living in people's houses and these prisoners were under lock and key.
Well, more so. But it was St. Lucia Labour Party in opposition and they lambast UWP for that. And it happened twice, you know. Dominica. It also happened to Dominica on G. And prisoners had to be brought here too. Quite recently, well, more recent than Grenada. And it was the same SLP again. Okay, this time, when we take the nationals, where are we housing them?
Well,
Will they be in private houses? Will they be where?
I
Factory sheds? Where?
don't know. We have no more remember, those prisoners were housed in. There was one time when the prisoners were housed in factory shells in Odsa.
In Odsa.
Yeah.
But that housing shed is no longer there. That factory shed is no longer there.
I don't know.
What's about Vieux-Fort? Vieux-Fort has a lot of empty space.
Why
Probably the economy in Vieux-Fort would be booming. No, but what explanation did... So, I think I need to review that on my own time. That sentence before Cabinet has approved, what did the Prime Minister speak to just before that? Can you read it? That line, before that line.
He not
did he just jump on that?
Not all of it is no, he said here, let me just play it for you. St. Lucia has reaffirmed its commitment to peace and the principles of international law that protect all nations, large and small. Now, I'm just going to play it over for you because...
Since when?
2026,
SLP
apparently, Foster.
Is complying with any law. Since when?
Let me just... I'll give my take on it after, but let me just play this again for you so you know that I am not making this up.
Large and small. St. Lucia, as a member of CARICOM, stands committed to the principles of CARICOM. We believe that stability is best secured through dialogue, diplomacy, and respect for established international norms. We will continue to work with our regional partners to safeguard the Caribbean as a zone of peace. St. Lucia's foreign policy remains rooted in diplomacy, cooperation, and mutually beneficial shared interests. In this regard, the Cabinet of Ministers has approved a memorandum of understanding between the government of St. Lucia and the government of the United States to accept the potential transfer of certain third country nationals present in the United States. This agreement is non-binding and is at the complete discretion of both governments.
So have you heard enough, Foster? Or do you want to hear more?
Nah, it's good.
Right. So tell me.
Angie,
Mm-hmm.
you know, one of our main problems in St. Lucia is that we don't, when members of the government or when there is an issue, we don't get an explanation of from the authorities what they really mean by the statements that they're making.
Mm-hmm.
When those nationals that are in the United States, where are they? Where are they being kept? How are they? Why are they in detention? Have we been told that? Are they prisoners? Because as far as I know, the persons who are being deported from the United States are persons that came in illegally,
Mm-hmm.
who have overstayed their visas,
Mm-hmm.
or those that who have committed offenses or crimes,
Mm-hmm.
and they are getting them out, deporting them.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them don't have passports. Some of them don't want to go back to their homes.
Mm-hmm.
So our cabinet of ministers have agreed, is that what the Prime Minister is saying? To accept those third country nationals.
That's what he's saying.
So those people will be here just like they are in the United States indefinitely.
I don't know, Foster.
But if we accept
Foster,
them, how are we
he
getting them
said
out?
there are
Angie?
no details.
No, but he will say that that's the same thing Skerrit failed to say in Dominica, and they've given him hell. Let me tell you something, Angie. The Prime Minister cannot expect to say that and think that it will be all right in the morning, you know.
Well, apparently that
SLB is not
exactly-
getting away. I accept that it appears that the SLB has been washed in the
blood
River
of the
Jordan.
lamb. In the blood of the lamb.
SLP have been washed in the River Jordan, and everybody have forgotten that those are the same fellas that everybody had issues with prior to election, you know.
Well, it does not seem that way.
From the Prime Minister to the most junior minister, people had issues with all of them, you know. They have not answered. The issues are still on the table. The questions that are still unanswered are still there.
We have a caller on the Facebook, on the WhatsApp line. Let's answer that call. Good afternoon to you, caller. You are on the air. Hello, caller. Good afternoon to
Good
you.
afternoon, Angie. Good afternoon, Mr. Foster.
Good day, sir. Good day.
I want to wish you a happy New Year. We have not spoken since 2026 this New Year, so I want to wish you and your family a happy New Year.
Yeah, thank you. Same to you.
Angie and Brother Chiquot, are we an insane country?
Eh. Eh ben, mi question comment geste ici. Caller,
I think you have lost it, caller.
how do you figure? Are we insane? Are you saying do we have mass hysteria or mass brain damage or mass how help me out, Foster? Help me out. For the first time in my life, I find myself at a loss for words.
But we
The reason why I
have
asked
lost
that
of
question-
memory.
Well, I don't even know, but I asked that question very deliberate, you know. Because we grappling with a crime situation that we cannot even handle.
Right.
We broke records. Last year we had 82 or 84 murders. I think it
84,
was
they're
82.
saying.
I'm sorry,
84.
84. Bodile is busting by its seams with a population of close to 600 inmates. Half of that 600 inmates cannot get a trial. They on remand pending a trial for years. Some of them 10 years, a decade. But you got to accept non-St. Lucian deportees / and Foster was right, / refugees. Now, let me put that into context, Angie and Foster. The non-national deportees, a large percentage of those deportees are high-risk criminals. They are high risk. They have high risk convictions. You listening to me?
I'm listening.
Do we have the capacity as a country to keep tabs on those persons? Where is the monitoring that when those persons land in St. Lucia, if we do agree, because I want to go based on what the Prime Minister said. He said it's not cast in stone. Meaning
No, hold on.
that the government of St. Lucia has not signed the MOU.
That's not what he said.
Whatever it is.
That is not what he said. He said, and I quote, they have approved the MOU, and then he also said, this agreement is not binding. Now, forgive me. Hold on. Forgive me, caller. Didn't we sign an MOU for that Saudi loan of $201 million? You remember that? So,
yeah, I remember.
Is he saying that this is non-binding? That the Saudis
That's what he's saying.
Because every MOU that I have heard or witnessed being signed or heard about was binding.
Actually, an MOU, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a legal mind, but common sense will tell me and should tell any right-thinking person with half a brain that an MOU is like similar to what I call a promissory note.
But that's what it is.
Two parties sit down, their terms and conditions, and they agree to that and they sign.
Exactly.
So how the Prime Minister could tell me as a smart person, as a person who did not just finish high school, that the cabinet of St. Lucia agreed to the MOU, but has agreed to the MOU, but is not signed, is not binding.
He never
Does
said
that
anything.
make sense?
He never said anything about signed. The man said it is not binding. Now,
yeah, but if you agree, listen to me, Angie. Let us take it
to me. Once you agree, listen. It's not just when you sign a paper you have a legally binding agreement. You know that, right, caller? You know that if you verbally agree, verbal agreements are legally binding, and I don't.
Yeah, but listen. If I verbally agree to something, okay, and you challenge me in court, verbal, and Foster is as an ex-police officer, he can guide me there. Verbal does not stand any solid weight. It's signatures that pull more weight. So I am trying to understand, if you are as a cabinet, as a government, you agree to the MOU, that means you have had these prior discussions with the United States government, and you agree to take those refugees / deportees into your country. You agree to it. There was dialogue. So the question I'm asking St. Lucia and myself is, when was that dialogue ensued? Because it would have had to be before the election. That all along the election was ongoing, the campaign was going on. Philip JP and his cabinet knew that they had agreed to an MOU. You understand where I'm going with this, Angie?
I understand.
Yeah.
They have had to have agreed to that MOU. So all the time St. Lucians was in the dark. We did not know that they had already agreed with the United States government to accept those deportees. And God forbid, had the United Workers' Party won the election, they would have had to deal with that mess. That is a diplomatic fiasco, And let me tell you why that is happening. Antigua was forced to take deportees. You know that, right?
Right.
Antiguan government. Dominica is forced to take deportees. You know why?
Right.
Check it out. All all the countries with issues with the
The
CBI
CIP, yes.
program, these are the stipulations or these are the sanctions that are
That
being
are
placed
placed
on
on
them.
him, right? And there are three
That
of
is the
them. There are
problem.
three of them, Ian.
And it's not just that, caller. It's not just that. He is you notice he's trying to make it sound as if this is something that CARICOM is dealing with, but why haven't
It's not a CARICOM problem.
it's not a
because let me tell
CARICOM
you
problem,
why,
but
Angie.
these are only OECS countries and
Not
only
just OECS
countries
alone. Let me
with
tell you.
CBI.
Yeah, CBI.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you what's happening here. St. Vincent and the Grenadines do not have a CBI program. You see United States pressuring them to accept deportees into the country?
Nope.
Trinidad and Tobago is a CARICOM member. You see the United States government pressuring them to accept deportees and refugees?
Not at all.
Remember what the Secretary of State, Macarugu said last year?
Mm-hmm.
He said they will be approaching certain CARICOM territories to accept deportees / refugees because their sovereign countries do not want them in the country. Remember that?
Right.
So, kayu pa vle wek na ipon wek me wad da kayu mwa?
And
Mackerel.
I challenge anybody to tell me what I just said there is incorrect.
But
Go
you,
online and check it.
but you're right, Ian. But Ian, as you're on the line, I want to ask you, because you're calling from the belly of the beast. Those third country nationals, let us explain that to St. Lucians. Where are those persons detained in the States? Where are they? Are they prisoners? Are they in camps? Where are they? And who are they? Tell that to the St. Lucian people for me, please.
The deportees, the non-citizens, the non-St. Lucians will be deported to St. Lucia. These are persons who are in apprehension right now. Like I said, a large percentage of them have high-risk criminal convictions. You listen to me, Angie and Foster.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And their own country, their sovereign country, the way they so call your fet, pavle you. So gouvernement l'Amérique nous pavle you
l'Amérique, you can't get rid of you. Oui.
So they're saying to St. Lucia and Dominica and Antigua, listen, you all have issues with your CBI program. Well, let us sit and see how we can. It's like you're bargaining.
Yeah,
so
bargain. Yes.
So St. Lucia is agreeing to accept those persons into our country.
But
the sad reality is
also, not to cut you short, but also we're missing something even more important. The countries who have decided to do this, and I'm talking about Dominica, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis, even Grenada, they have made certain specifications. These people, these countries, and I have specified that, one, they are not taking anybody who is not a regional citizen. So they're not taking any people,
non-Caribbean person.
CARICOM residents. That is what Dominica has specified, Antigua has specified. They're not taking any non-CARICOM residents, one. Two, they're not taking anyone with criminal records, but they are willing to accept people who've overstayed their visa. And three, they have been slapped with a $15,000 bond for people who are willing to apply
for their visa.
People who are going to apply for visa will have to put up a $15,000 US bond.
And you know where that stems from? That stems from the fact that they have serious concerns with those countries handling of the CBI program, the CIP.
Yes. Now,
because of the lack of scrutiny with the CIP, because right now, tout chien sa acheté passeport antique, Tout sa aste pasport Dominique e Grenada.
Caller,
So,
attends. Nou pa sa kouye isi a kouye chien. Prime Minister yon ki konet ko se chien ye. Because se li yon ki te wè yon
anyway,
photo.
right.
Pa
So
fini.
I was saying,
Yes.
anybody from whatever country, once they have their 100,000, whatever it is, and they can raise that money, they can buy passports. So the authority, the US is saying, look, you're not scrutinizing this thing properly. I'm going to put this bond. And the logic behind this $15,000 bond, let us explain that to the listeners and viewers, is to ensure that if you overstay, when they catch you, it will not be from the public purse, the taxpayer purse of here. They will take that bond and ship you back to St. Lucia or wherever you come from if you do overstay. That is the logic. Okay. And also, it raises the bar in terms of qualification. So if you don't have $15,000, you can't apply for a visa. So it raises the bar in terms of the application or the applicants who wants to apply for visas. You understand what I'm saying, Angie and Foster?
Right, you're right.
So you must be in a financial backing, or you must have a financial backing in which to apply for a visa. That's the logic behind it. So I was saying, those deportees and refugees, right? A larger percentage of them have serious high-risk criminal records, convictions, sorry. Okay? And are we exposing our people? We are exposing our citizens, St. Lucians, to that kind of thing. Already we have a serious justice. Our justice system is in a mess. Our courts are in a mess. Cases, backlog of cases. Like I said, Bodily is busting to its seams. Cannot even handle the population right now. Where are you going? What is the monitoring system? Which department will be monitoring those deportees? What is the system when you take them into monitoring? Where are they going to stay? How are you going to reorient them into a St. Lucian society that they have no ties with? This is why, like you said, Angie, and you're correct, Antigua and Bermuda, St. Kitts, they have a criteria. They say, look here, unless you're not part of our culture, you're not from the Caribbean, we're not going to accept you. We didn't hear that from Philip JP.
No, we didn't.
There's no classification.
There are no details, caller. There are no details. That's what he said.
No details. Mm-hmm. No details. All we're hearing is they agreed to cabinet agreed to the MOU, and it's not binding. How could an MOU not be binding? An MOU is an agreement. Once you have an agreement, it is binding. So I don't know what the Prime Minister is trying. Who is he trying to fool? But I just want to say to St. Lucia, there's trouble ahead. We have a crime situation that we cannot even handle. We have no system. Our courts are in a mess. Bodily is in a mess. And yet still, our government, I have to say that, is accepting high-risk criminals into our country. And that's going to be a problem. We have an unemployment problem. Where are you going to reorient them? Where are the jobs for them? How are you going to bring them into society? I don't know. These are serious questions, that has to be answered.
Well, but I don't have.
You understand the magnitude of this problem, Angie and Foster?
Yeah,
but what we're saying and what we know is that the Prime Minister said when he gets more information, he's going to let the nation know, like he always does. We know the Prime Minister is lying. He has lied to us before, and we don't expect to hear anything more from him.
St. Lucia, we ought to ask questions because we are in the dark as when it comes to this situation. But all I want to say, and I will end here, these are troubling times ahead. We have serious social issues with parenting, with our education. Another thing too, those deportees, they have families, right, Angie and Foster?
Yeah.
Are you going to welcome their families? Say, okay, you're a mother, and you have kids, and you're a deportee, and they send you to St. Lucia, and you want your kids to come now to St. Lucia to reside. Where is it? How can our education system absorb that. We have a serious problem with healthcare. We cannot even provide proper healthcare for the population that we have, which is 180,000 people. You're going to accept deportees to put us a further strain on your healthcare system? You understand the problems that we are in, Foster and Angie?
First of all, let me explain. Let me answer some of these questions for you. To the best of my ability, I'm trying. Okay, I'm not the prime minister. I wasn't at the meeting. I didn't sign the MOU, but I am trying. When it comes in with relation to employment, I guess they will be employed in a step program like everybody else. That's what's happening now. If Bodley has no space, then custody suites is available. And
that doesn't work. If you live,
hold on.
If you live jail in
Hold
the
on.
States, you think you'll come here and they'll give you a job?
Hold on.
You're not working
I'm
in
not
the
done.
States, they will give you a job there?
I'm not done. With regard to if they have kids, well, we have been closing schools left, right, and center, so these kids will get space. And what was the last thing you asked?
Healthcare.
Healthcare.
They're going to St. Jude's, man. You know that they're going to St. Jude's. So I guess they're covered.
St. Jude's? Where is the St. Jude's?
Well. Ian, if the Prime Minister don't know where the BMAC site is me don't know where St. Jude's is. I don't understand.
We don't have a St. Jude hospital, Angie. I'm joking you into reality.
But we have a building. But we got a building, guys. We got a building. So they'll be in the building. Why y'all making the explanation so hard? I mean, why are y'all getting so excited? According to the Prime Minister, why are you guys getting so excited?
You're saying, Angie. You're saying, Angie, when they start to, if they start to commit crimes, because you always have to give people second chances, right, to rehabilitate. So say they lapse and they start to commit crimes. You say custody suite is the best answer for them?
No, that's Philip JP answer. That's what we have to work with. I'm just working within our framework. You heard the Prime Minister talk about the MOU framework. I'm just working within the framework. Don't quote me on this. This is I guess this is where they are going to be. I don't know.
St. Lucia, I asked those questions very deliberate because I can see more troubling times ahead. I do not want to, like I always say, I do not want to be a prophet of gloom and doom. But I think based on what I'm seeing there, and I've done my analysis of the paralysis according to the late Norbert Williams, this is troubling, and I think St. Lucian should oppose that because we just cannot maintain that. We do not have the human capacity. We do not have the financial resources. We have social issues that we cannot even grapple with. We cannot even tackle, and then we compounding that with that issue, all because if this government, our government, I say that sarcastically, had managed our CBI program properly above board, we would not be in that that mess that we are in.
Breathe, caller. Calm down. Take a deep breath because
I have to because I'm angry.
I realize that. I can sense it. I can sense it. Because now I am trying to make light of the situation, but I have not given my take on it. You realize I'm trying to make light of the situation because this is just. It's laughable, caller. It's laughable.
Remember, I will just bring a short scenario to you guys, and then I will end him. And sorry for taking some of your the time. Remember, 2 guys got deported last year, maybe around just before the election, maybe between September and November. One of them, both of them are St. Lucians, but one of them left St. Lucia when he was 9 years old.
Right, I remember that.
I cannot remember his age. And when they got deported, one of them landed, and he told the other one, "Listen, guys, he told the immigration authorities that he has no family. He doesn't know his family. He left St. Lucia when he was 9 years old. Most of his family are overseas. He doesn't know where to go. He doesn't have any place to go. Remember that?
Right.
And then
first I heard that you offered assistance. You didn't? No, okay.
One of the deportees came on news and said, "Listen, okay, I will assist you by taking you in." You remember that?
Well, actually, I think it was the officer.
The guy said the officer asked the other
officer
one who
asked
was
him,
picked up
yeah,
to go with him.
to take him home
To
with
take him
him
home.
because they had no idea what to do with him. So if we don't know what to do with
Exactly.
our
Right,
own
and that was
deportees,
it. We don't
I
even know
brought
what
that
to do with
scene.
our own people.
let me tell you.
Exactly. So I brought that scenario up to jerk the consciousness of the reality of what will happen. And those two individuals, do you know of any monitoring? Is there any agency or government
Zip,
department that
zap.
is monitoring the
Zero.
progression of these
Zero.
individuals?
Well, we have new. Listen. We have new government offices now. We have.
But it's the same administration.
No, hold on. We have new ministries. We have the Ministry of Conflict Resolution. We have the Ministry of Constituency Development. We have the Ministry of Heritage. Maybe they will help.
Heritage?
Or is it department? Do we have department? What do we have exactly? Is it departments, ministries? What do we have? Yes, culture and heritage.
Angie,
Yes. Yeah.
You try, Angie. I know you've been devil's advocate, and I appreciate that. But I'm just showing you that we are in a mess. Those two individuals, from what I'm sensing, I can guarantee you, as night must come today, that nobody has been liaising or following up or assisting in the reorientation of those two individuals. So what has happened? I can guarantee you that they came into Saint Lucia as deportees, and they just left wandering. So if that could happen to St. Lucian citizens, far less you bring in non-nationals into your country who are deportees, and like I said, a larger percentage of them are high-risk criminals with high-risk convictions. Where is the monitoring coming from? Who is going to ensure that those persons are monitored, they are reoriented into society, they are rehabilitated, and that they will not be a further burden on our crime situation? Who is going to be charged with that responsibility?
I told you, the Ministry of Conflict Resolution.
Oh, well, I don't know I don't know if the conflict will be resoluted.
I don't think that's a word, Ian.
Well, that's
resolved. You making up. So because the Prime Minister making up new ministries, you're making up new words. I don't think you have that power, Ian.
Conflict. I make up my own ministry because since he can make up conflict resolution, I say conflict resolution.
Ian,
Yes.
you do not have that power. I know you are not the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. You cannot just make up words. You do not have, this is not under your purview. I will need you to, just stay in your section, please. But thank you so much for that.
In other words, let me end. Yes, this thing is just pure papi show.
It is.
I want to borrow a term that Foster use all the time. This Saint Lucia is right now, sadly to say, is a clown country, and that is a gist in what I just said. We are a clown country. We're like a circus. And sadly, Saint Lucians had a golden opportunity to change the focus, to change the direction of the country, but they chose to remain in the same mess. And sadly, it's going to continue. It's going to get worse, and we're going to be like the most laughing stock. And that's how the people, and if you go around the country, I can challenge you and Foster, you will still have people telling you that the mood is red. That is a sad reality. Have a blessed day, guys.
Thank you very much for
thank
that,
you.
Ian. Okay, we're going to take a small commercial break, and then we are going to be back, and I am going to give my take on this. We're going to go to the Facebook platform and read some of these comments that are coming in hot and fast, and then I'm going to give my take on this situation. We'll be right back.
You already know the power of Licks products on your clothes and household. You Licks your whites and colored clothes, leaving them fresh and scented. You Licks your dishes and left your hands protected with vitamin E. You Licks your floors, even Licks your toilet. Now we expand and bring you 3 new scents in our fabric softener: Balmy Sunshine, Summer Sunshine, and Thousand Flowers. And Licks those stains off of colored clothes with Licks Color Set Bleach. Licks went even further with Bondicare Body Soap Bars in deodorant and antibacterial. So let's tiredness and bacteria out and refresh your tired body. Your products giving you licks? Then choose Licks from today edition. Available at all leading supermarkets.
All right. So we're back here on Hard Talk with me, Angie, and my guest, Mr. Foster Chiquot, who, by the way, has not told us when full disclosure will be re-emerging. Let's leave that for another show. But I want to turn my attention to the Facebook platform because we have a lot of comments on here that we need to air out. This is somebody saying that's so laughable I cry. I think that person is referring to the fact that the patient at the hospital, did you hear that part? The patient at the hospital was asked to leave after waiting for hours to see a doctor because he was complaining. He was asked to leave. Anyway, I'm going to reserve judgment on this one. Another one says, we the people didn't put PJP. They make their bauble with higher authority. Another person says, our CIP has no problem, so why did England put the ETA? Belches, your listener. Another person says, I totally agree with you, caller. Another person says, say it loud. Thank you, caller, well said. Somebody says, that's what I want to know. Somebody is replying to you and Ian. They're saying that these new nationals will be placed in the new condos that Richard Frederick, well, I can't say Richard Frederick, it says RF, the new condos that RF is building. Another person says, guys, how many ministers traveled last year to this year? Only when you travel, you will understand you don't have visa. Okay. Somebody else is saying Joseph Goebbels would be proud of the propaganda piece sent out by the government concerning the MOU. I still don't understand that. Every other MOU that we have signed or that we have agreed to is binding except this one. I don't understand. And he's saying there's no details. Anyway. Somebody says, I guess this is why RF building the condos, not for the betterment of us St. Lucians. Somebody is laughing and saying, this caller. Another person says, will the SLU government be providing them with free housing, etc.? Will the government provide jobs to the foreign nationals? I guess great minds think alike. People are asking the same questions. Somebody said, people, the mood is getting redder in St. Lucia. It's loading, coming soon to your area. St. Lucians, tie your waist. Sigh. Somebody says, what PJP didn't say is to ask the citizens of St. Lucia to provide a home for them. Well, I am telling you right now, I am not willing to provide any home for anyone that does not share my DNA. If I have a husband, he not sharing my DNA, I putting him out. So... I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. So, somebody says, let me see. Caller, there's an occupation called STEP because St. Lucians are very excited about their new occupation. Exactly. Somebody says, well, was there a voice which said, accept our deportees and we will discontinue investigations into allegations of corruption regarding the CIP? Well, again, I don't know if that voice was there, caller. I wasn't there. Somebody says, Ian, they didn't change the government. Somebody says, a DNA registry must be put in place. And somebody is saying, since 2021, St. Lucia has been a clown country. Foster, you are influencing my listeners, and I don't know if I like it because now everybody is calling St. Lucia a clown country. Now, let me give you guys my take because I have been notoriously quiet on this. I share some of the concerns that Ian and you have aired out, and the other caller. First of all, every MOU that I've ever heard of has been binding. We have MOUs being signed in several instances. MOUs for loans, MOUs for technical assistance, MOUs in every diplomatic instance, and they all have been and continue to be binding. So when the Prime Minister says that the MOU is not, the agreement is not binding, that is an oxymoron. That's like saying one dark bright day in the middle of the night. Okay? This doesn't make any sense. Firstly, so you cannot come and expect us to believe that kind of foolishness. Number one. But then again, how can we be surprised? Because we have shown the propensity to have our brains take a vacation every time Philip J. Pierre opens his mouth. Now let me continue. When he says there are no details, hogwash. How do you sign an agreement without details? Foster, explain that to me. What agreement that you know doesn't have details? If there are no details, what are you agreeing to?
There must be details.
There are details
for the discussion to take place.
Exactly.
So then you would say, well, okay, you had a discussion with 1G.
Yes.
And we did not agree to anything.
Mm-hmm.
We did not sign anything. But you cannot approve whatever me and Angie decide. You approve it, but it's not binding.
That makes no sense.
Not binding means that there is no
MOU. Now, if there is no
understanding to obligation.
Right. So if there is no MOU, what you come in and tell us?
Yes, exactly. Why are you addressing
it? Thirdly, do you guys remember when it started being said that we have an issue of corruption? Remember, MSR Media came out and said there's an issue with the CIP, there's underselling, there's money laundering, this needs to be addressed.
Lawyers are making
a
fortune.
Do you remember what the Prime Minister and the Minister of Investment said to the public? They said, and I quote, "This may be true in the case of St. Kitts, but this is not the truth in St. Lucia." They said our CIP has the most robust due diligence process, that the CIP would be beneficial to us. They said that it was simply Alan Shastney who was jealous. I still have not figured out how. It was simply Alan Shastney who was jealous, and he was trying to derail the government, destabilize the government, hurt the country, and he was teaming up with foreign nationals to destroy our program and to hurt our country. He did not want to see the country get better. Remember that?
Right.
That's one. Then, when it came out that St. Lucians were quietly being refused visas, or in fact, even before that, when it came out that St. Lucia would potentially be placed on a travel restriction status or travel ban status, the Prime Minister came out and said to us, absolutely not, that is not true. Simply, he said the leader of the opposition tried to derail the government with Martinez, but it didn't work. So now they're trying to fool St. Lucians into believing that they will not be able to travel. When it came out that St. Lucians were quietly being denied visas, the same thing. It was false. It was propaganda. It was for fake news. They're trying to take revenge. You heard him. Mm-hmm. You heard him repeat the same propaganda. At every turn, when this government has been alerted, hey, heads up, there is something wrong, they have dismissed it. They have explained it away as the opposition being power hungry and trying to hurt the country. They have called it lies and, rubbished claims. But today, if we have no problems with our CIP, if we have not been denied access to travel to the United States, if we are, and he did say that there's nothing wrong with there's been no restrictions on visas to the United States. If all of these things are true, if we are in compliance, why are we issuing such an open-ended why are we throwing our doors open to third country deportees when it seems that the other countries who are doing this are basically held over a barrel?
Yes.
You can clearly see that Antigua and Barbuda,
so
Dominica.
Either we are not being told the truth or we are not being told all the truth.
Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, St. Kitts and Nevis, all of these appear to have a gun to their heads.
Right.
Their arms are being twisted. And they're still not saying, come one, come all. They're saying, listen, okay, fine, I will do what you want, but I'm only taking people from my region, and I'm only taking people who have no criminal records, people who have overstayed, and that's that. So why exactly is St. Lucia doing this? Are we accepting these people?
We love America so much, huh? All of a sudden.
No, not just all of a sudden. Not just we love America. Are we doing this
and we know
in solidarity?
This government don't like.
Exactly.
United
Are we
States.
doing this in solidarity with our OECS brethren? Are we standing in solidarity? Are we that Christian a nation? Because I can tell you the homicide count is very unchristian. And for goodness sake, like Ian said, we don't have adequate healthcare services for our own citizens. We don't have adequate education opportunities for our own citizens. We don't have proper infrastructure for our own citizens. We are grappling with a crime situation that our police are fighting to deal with. And we are accepting other countries' criminals? Because you made no specification. You didn't say, okay, we will be accepting people who have overstayed.
Who said they were criminals?
No, but you didn't make any specifications. There's no criteria. There is absolutely no. There are no details. Foster, yes. There are no details.
I know there are.
So there is no specification. Unlike the other OECS countries, there is no specification that, listen, I'm only taking people who have overstayed because these people want to look for a life. I'm only taking people from the region because, hey, CSME, they could have come here anyway, and when they get here, they can make their way back to their country. But you're telling me if you have 1-2 Polish fellas, you'll send them here? For why reason? You have some Nigerian person, you'll send him here? For why reason? You understand where I'm coming from. So apparently what Philip J. Pierre is saying to us, we don't need healthcare insurance. Y'all ain't need that. Y'all eat toloma when y'all were young. Y'all ain't need that. Y'all strong. You don't need better border control. Because hey, but what we do need in St. Louis, we don't need better border control. We don't need lower taxes. We don't need health insurance coverage. But what we do need, apparently, are more sophisticated criminals. Because the ones we have at home, the homegrown criminals, they're just not top class enough, I guess. They just don't provide enough of a challenge to the police. The police are getting bored. The police needed a challenge. They've been given some sort of specialized training, and they need to put that training into good use. And the criminals we have here, they just don't make the cut, right, Foster? So let's go out and find some top class criminals and give our police officers a real challenge. Really? So we are now, whereas Dominica, St. Vincent, Dominica, St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, the ones apparently who had the issues with CIP, because St. Lucia CIP is top class.
Top of the line.
Top of the line. We have the best of everything. The ones that these guys will take are only from the region, which is understandable. They only collect in America's garbage, but it have to come from the Cape State areas, But we have decided to be the Castries City Council of America. All their garbage, bring it come. We're the Deglo dump. So we just taking, whereas Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, St. Kitts and Nevis, they're doing recycling, because if they get people who overstay, and these people are from the region, when they get here, they can always get a flight back to wherever it is they come from, St. Vincent, Dominica, Antigua, Barbados, Trinidad, because they're from the region. So they can go back home. So they're recycling, and we are the Deglo dump. We're the dumping grounds for other people's criminals. Guys, I mean...
But MG, what I want to ask...
Just now, I'm not done yet. I just briefing because I want to stay Christian throughout this whole thing. I have to breathe because my Christianity kind of failing me. I am trying to be... You're telling me, Foster, you're saying to me that... You're saying to me, Lord Jesus, give me strength and give me patience. You're saying to me, we're the ones who did nothing wrong. We're the ones who complied with everything that the US did. We're the ones that nobody had a problem with. You remember he kept saying that? The EU doesn't have a problem with our CIP. The Americans don't have a problem with our CIP. Everything is fine. Everything is perfect. Everything is dandy, but we're the ones getting the shortest end of the stick. Somebody make it make sense, because I can't. You understand, Foster? Over to you, I guess.
Angie, I have a few questions I want to... and difficulties I have with this approval. If you're a St. Lucian who committed a crime in the States and you have served your time, your sentence ended today, you have a St. Lucian passport, they can put you on a plane and send you to St. Lucia tomorrow morning. whether you have family here or not, you're St. Lucian, you can come here. When you land in St. Lucia, you don't land as a prisoner. You land as a citizen of St. Lucia.
As a returning national.
The police may interview you, meet you at the airport, but they have no reason to hold you. You have not committed a crime here, unless they want to check your records there to see if you're not a wanted person.
Right.
Other than that, you can go to Denry or wherever you're from.
Yes, you just go on the bus stop, you take a bus, you go on your way.
Now, if you go to America yesterday, you went yesterday, and they have reasons to send you back, to deny you entry, and they send you back on the next American airline, you land at Beaufort. When you get there, you're not a prisoner. You can walk out and go take a taxi and go back to your home.
Sometimes you can call a friend and ask for a ride.
If you live in prison in America and St. Lucia government decides to accept you, you're from, let us say, Turkey. And not Turkey back, so Turkey.
I still haven't, by the way, I still have not. Foster, but you promised we would make a jot, Foster. You say you wouldn't get the turkey backs and you disappear. We'll talk about that later. Continue, make your point.
If you're from Turkey and they deport you and Philippines decides they're accepting you, and American Airlines drop you here at Beaufort, when you get to Beaufort, you have not committed an offense in St. Lucia. So you can walk out of the Beaufort of the airport and walk in either direction. Walk towards Castries or walk towards Labrie. All right? You have not committed an offense.
Right.
You can go and live on the beach. You can go and live somewhere. How does that work, Philippe Pierre? How does that work? Tell us. We don't have camps. We don't have... there's a camp in Guantanamo Bay. The Americans have... You mean they can take people from there and send them to St. Lucia and we'll accept them? Have you seen the conditions that how the prisoners are treated at
Guantanamo Bay?
Yeah.
No, I have not. And I'm not interested.
So what are we really agreeing to? What did the Cabinet of Ministers agree to?
Apparently, an MOU with no details. There are no details.
But Philippe
the agreement is not binding.
Philippe Pierre,
it's at the discretion.
Philippe Pierre just won an election. He can come and say, you have won already, Mr. Pierre. You can come and continue your lives, Because you won, election won't be in the next 5 years. Except you really start to fool around. Election might be next month.
Honestly, Foster, I thought he would at least give us a month before he start putting his foot down his throat. Honestly.
But it's a month. He gave us a month for 1 week.
Into the new year.
A lot of time.
Into the new year, Foster. I expected the buffoonery to take a little longer. Let us settle in. This
That's
is only
the
our
same
second week
guys
back.
that we didn't trust before election, St. Lucia's voted for them again. So let me tell you something.
You know what, Foster? Wait, hold on.
I'm not expecting anything
Listen,
different.
we are blaming St. Lucians for voting for these guys. But let me explain something to you. What if that it was the CIP people, the CIP citizens that came and did that? I'm just saying. What if it was the friends and family of these deportees that we are about to accept that came here and said, well, let's ensure you stay in power so that we can reunite with our family? Because I refuse to believe that the people that I have shared air with, an education system with, a healthcare system, a bus system, I probably sit on the bus with them, I probably talk to them. The people that I grew up with in St. Lucia, the people that I have shared the land, the people and the light with, the the Full Blooded St. Lucians, I refuse to believe that we are capable of this kind of foolishness. Because no, let me tell you, Foster, from last night, I have been angry. I have been upset. I have been...
Angie, how many reports have we commissioned? How many reports, investigations have we have had? And the government have never, not just this government.
We cannot figure out, hold on, Foster, we can't figure out what happened to Tyson, a dog. A dog was murdered. We cannot figure out what happened to Tyson. But we get to grapple with America's...
We know what happened to Tyson, This is St. Lucians. St. Lucians know exactly what happened to Tyson.
I think so,
The police know exactly what happened to Tyson. The ministers of government know exactly what happened to Tyson.
Then
the Prime Minister knows what happened to Tyson.
The Prime Minister did say that he knows all about the crime. Now, let's go back to the WhatsApp platform. Somebody says, good day, Angie and Foster. Are these deportees eventually to be sent to their home countries, or will they become citizens of St. Lucia? I wish I could answer that question, but the Prime Minister says there are no details. There are no details. Somebody says now we are going to have the Ministry of Deportee. This is our visionary government. I don't like when people talk like that, because the truth offends in this matter. In this case, the truth really offends, I'm telling you. Somebody says, hi Angie, good afternoon my sister, and to all who is watching and listening. Thank you. Somebody says, just asking a question, are these those deportees, will they become a citizen of St. Lucia? Again, we have no idea, because the Prime Minister says there are no details. Another person says, PJP can fool the people who voted for him with his lies, but he must know it's not every St. Lucian that is stupid. Caller, I
have a lot of stupid St. Lucians.
I wish that was so. I wish that was true. But here's the thing, and I said it just a little while earlier. We have shown a propensity to become brainless whenever Philip J. Pierre speaks.
A lot of stupid people.
And I don't. And let me tell you something here. I think it was deliberate. I don't know. Somebody says Philip J. Pierre went as far as saying the opposition leader is the enemy of St. Lucia. Let's never forget that. He did say that. Yeah. He did say that. Somebody says a visa is not a passport to salvation. It may not be a passport to salvation, but here's the thing. I have a problem with people downplaying this visa issue. A visa may not be a passport to salvation, but it is an avenue that facilitates people's salvation. Let me explain this. Mm-hmm. There are certain medical procedures that are not available at OKEU. They're not available at Betty Wells. They're not available at Tapio, but they are available in the United States. And we have persons in St. Lucia who depend on these life-saving procedures. Number 2, a visa may not be a passport to salvation, but it does enable St. Lucian children to go overseas, get an education that is not available to them in this country, learn skills and skill sets that are necessary here but that are not available, and come back home and make a meaningful contribution to the development of their country. The visa also allows for individuals who are qualified in certain areas but who cannot find jobs for their qualifications in St. Lucia to travel overseas, gain this employment, and then repatriate funds to help their families make investments and contribute overall to the development of this country. The visa enables our government ministers to attend high-level talks on the UN platform, at CARICOM, on the world stage, to liaise or make agreements with universities to educate our young people, to go out there and make meaningful liaisons and attract investors. So it may not be a ticket to salvation, but it has its merits and it is essential. Because I don't know about you, but I was born in the 80s and I have yet to hear the UN convene a meeting in St. Lucia. Have you heard it, Foster?
No.
Okay, thank you. Somebody says, yes, it's not, so why not say something about the deportees? Come on, let's put St. Lucia first. Another person says, but it is a passport to healthcare in the US because St. Lucia has nothing. Somebody says, so why can't they send these deportees back to their own countries? Somebody wants to know, are these people to be given passports? Another one is saying, so this was what PJP and his other OECS colleagues went to discuss in the US when they met with Marco Rubio last year. Again, inquiring minds. That is a very good point. That's a very good point. Is that what they discussed?
So they knew that was signed and agreed to before election. So had this government lost that election, who would be saddled with that?
Another person is saying, this is why I said Shas should be quiet for now. If he addresses this, all the blame would be on him. Let the Prime Minister deal with it. They created the problem.
That mess. They created the mess. And Ralph Gonsalves told you, I have the clip on G. And last evening I was reading it, listening to it, about the CIP. How the lawyers will get greedier. They will sell more.
He did
the
say
politicians will get
in
more.
In fact, what he actually said was, we can fix the CIP, but they're not going to do it because the money is too sweet.
Too good.
That's his words were the money is too sweet. That's why these were exactly
and they hate
words.
Ralph Gonsalves now.
Oh
for
yes,
saying that.
oh yes.
At least only once he spoke the truth. Ralph Gonsalves. He's never felt I like.
Now let's continue. Somebody is saying this is quid pro quo. PJP only told us the quid. We are waiting to hear the pro quo and tell us who are the benefactors of the deal. Amen to that statement. I love that statement.
Yes.
Somebody says St. Lucia will be no different from Haiti.
I want Philippe to build a big shelter on the Marshall grounds. Not Rockall. Don't bring them Rockall. Put them on the Marshall grounds. Make a big tent. And put all the refugees there.
You don't think they should be in Chiquot?
No, we have an office in Chiquot.
Oh, sorry.
Go there
Okay.
regularly.
Okay.
We don't want them there. Put them on the Marshall Field. Philippe office is right across the road.
So he will be able to keep an eye on them.
Yes.
Foster, but honestly.
Give your people work, your red people. Give them work.
Honestly, Foster.
To man the refugee camps.
Honestly.
Philippe is a madman and the SLP is filled with a lot of mad people. I'm not expecting anything better.
Now, hold on. Listen to what you just said. Repeat what you just said.
SLP is run by a mad clown.
Now, we're laughing at this, but here's something that just came to mind when you said what you said. Foster, are you aware that the wellness center, specifically Turning Point, was shut down last year or year before?
I think so. It's a while that shut down, that's more than 2 years.
Right.
Yes.
Do we know if they have reopened it or recommissioned it?
I recall Mrs. Flood made a statement, and they were yet to merge the two units at the wellness center, but at the time it was not, pretty close to election, it was not so yet. It was not done yet.
And we still don't know. So what if, just humor me for a while. The more I think about this thing, the angrier I get, and I am really grappling. I'm really grappling to come to terms with this. What if, Foster, have we considered the fact that some of these people might be mentally ill? No, have we? Have we really considered this?
Our parents always said, you grew up listening in that. There are always more mad people
out
outside
than in.
inside.
Yes, that's true. But think about it. I'm being serious. Foster, have we considered the fact that some of these deportees might be mentally ill,
Criminally insane people.
criminally insane,
Right.
addicted to drugs and have warped their minds? We cannot adequately provide services for members of our own community in these areas, and we are agreeing to take on other people's problems. Foster, our healthcare system is overwhelmed. You heard the caller. I didn't hear it all alone. You heard this caller say that he went to the hospital at 8 a.m. and couldn't see a doctor. It was 10 a.m. and he couldn't see a doctor. You heard him say that another patient who was there before him was complaining, and this person was asked to leave the island's primary healthcare facility. Are you aware that our health centers throughout the length and breadth of this island are closed?
But the Prime Minister mentioned they have increased primary health,
We have a call on the line.
strengthened primary health care. That was his second point. I wrote it down.
Good afternoon, caller. You are on the air.
Hi, good afternoon to you, Mr. G. Happy New Year to you.
Oh, thank you very much. Happy New Year
And,
to you as well.
Thank you so much. And Brother Chiquot,
So,
Happy New Year to you, sir.
you too, sir.
Thank you so much. I may not have much to say, but I honestly, I beat myself to listen to this beloved Prime Minister of ours. I must assume what to say that.
Ako di beloved. Ibon ki beloved liya ishmo.
Sorry?
Ki di beloved. Ki mun ki beloved liya.
As we know, one of his slogans is "I love you," right?
Pa mo love him. Mahasi love him. I highly doubt he has any love for me. I can assure you.
Well, exactly. Exactly. Every time I hear you say that, when you're not an economy, you know, but the same goes for his deputy. Like, according to the boy, we can just anyway, what I heard him say about the no, because technically it's a contract you sign and you say no details available. The first thing that which came to mind was, you mean no details available to me and the rest of the general public, or is that your way of just trying to avoid questions? Because
go ahead.
Just you say, look at the destination GPH. It's the same thing. They refuse to give us the details. So no details available, which is the truth. So another thing that comes to mind is that he came to say that, so people will be like, oh, it's nothing. just like it was nothing before, he never said it before the elections.
Mhm.
But I'm also believing that all these are part of the reasons why he called the elections really.
Mhm.
Because these things are coming down the pipe, and if people know about it, the mood will not, well, the mood might really be red in truth,
Mhm.
as he's been saying.
I think the mood would have been dread.
So, yeah, exactly. As somebody said, the moon, the moon is red. But I mean, this deception, and the worst thing is, he comes to talk about transparency, accountability. These are just words without meaning to them.
Yeah.
When you find all they call them the celebs or whatever, they want to shove these things on people's throat because the party is in power or whatever it is. And they want to eradicate the meaning of the vote. We voted for better, not for us to be condemned. Like, if you want to go to jail, we might as well commit a crime. But imagine being in prison in your own country. And another thing I want to ask is, like, with these deportees, what are their what's their social status going to be? Are they going to be what a residency or citizenship or what is it? Like, you come and say no details. So, like, how can you? You said it's oxymoron, but I think honestly, for a lack of a word, I want to say it's worse than that. These guys, they're not really for us, and they look. And another thing is, look at he spoke on about social media. Right now, social media is the weapon that is being used against him, and as much as he's utilized it, but it's doing a lot of damage to him, so he wants to pretty much shut it down. In other words. Look at, I mean, even they had advertisements against the leader of the opposition saying that he called people like ED too, mendicants, jackass, and all that kind of stuff. Why did the guy ever say that? They never come with the proof that he said it, but they have advertisements against supporting like that. And then he come and talk about social media. Like,
bought it, caller, and they won again. So Philip Pierre can just continue lying, because he'll win again.
Foster, I have said to you, I refuse to believe that the people who share my nationality are this gullible. I believe that the people, remember that we had 5,000 extra persons on the voters list during elections. That's the CIP people, the CIP citizens, they that came and voted for Philip Pierre. I refuse to believe that any... Well, I know there are some of them out there, but I refuse to believe the majority of St. Lucians voted for this man. No. Maybe the Chinese people that were translating their thing on the app on their phone that came, they are the ones. Y'all can say whatever you want. This is what I choose to believe. I'm not putting this on St. Lucians. We provided 2 Nobel laureates and 2 SAGBA laureates, and we have people like... what's his name, Cato Lawrenson, that doing groundbreaking things, regrowing bone, and you come in and tell me we stupid enough to vote for... you're going to get me vexed. I think I'm going to walk out of the studio. I need to take a walk.
I know, go and sort it out. Honestly, I don't believe that this government won the elections.
They didn't.
One guy said something, and what he said makes sense. He said, even if all the money that they were dishing out and stuff, some people were thinking that I could take the money and vote them out. But that money was seasoned, in other words. I mean, I'm not saying I cannot prove it, but there's some logic to it. So there are so many things that this, let me say, government of ours did that they know they're not supposed to do. And like you said before, they're just waiting for somebody to say, hey, they're working on eggshells.
They are.
It's not right. And then you cannot say the people chose. What did they choose? You come in and tell me, I mean, the healthcare policy alone was enough.
Exactly.
It was worth a vote. That alone, for decades, they've been talking about universal healthcare. We are small island, you're talking about universal healthcare, you cannot deliver it. And national healthcare, even the minister come and say, you multiplied $75,000 by 280,000 people. I Are you a moron to actually? Are you feeling good about this?
Caller, you see,
But
you see
when
those,
look at,
you
when
see those
look at-
points you
when
making
you look at
there.
Musa and his logic,
Now,
you're gonna expect people, certain people near Musa's house alone to vote for him. I don't know how
You
this
should be
man
like
really
compound
knows.
around all these houses.
listen,
That's my people.
the caller is making some great points, and he's speaking the truth. But his truth is really upsetting me right now. I think I need to take a walk because when I think about these things, caller, you are bringing up all these bad memories to me because I don't understand this foolishness. I do
Yeah,
not.
exactly. And those things, I'm not trying to upset you. I'm just saying I'm upset myself.
I know. You're only telling the
You know, because
truth.
I'm really passionate about this.
You're only telling the truth, but your truth, you know, they tell you the truth offends. Well, I am very offended right now. It is offending me because it's the truth.
Even, I mean,
It's the truth, and it really hurting me in my soul.
and I listened to the, like I said, I beat myself up to listen to the public address and whatever. And it's like in my head, I could just see them saying, "Oh, you think the people will buy it?" Like before he came to present it, you think they will buy it? Afterwards, the others party them. Oh, I think you did well. You did good. You know, they'll take the floor. Like that's what I could imagine that they're doing. You know, coming to craft their lives or whatever and put it in a way that people will take it or not take much of it. It's really, and honestly, I've been saying now, in this world today, there's that word we call democracy. Every time I hear that word, the only thing I hear is the mockery.
Me too.
They're using the word democracy to make a mockery out of us, and that is a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes.
You know, there's no other way around it because I've tried to sit down and analyze, think about it, try to give the benefit of the doubt, and they're just making a mockery out of us.
Me tell you.
I'm sorry, I'm upset myself. I'm saying all of this, and I'm not upset.
No, I caller, you're just making too much sense this afternoon there on the radio station. That's all. Because what you're saying is true. Everything you're saying is true. You are repeating exactly what happened. But when you tell it like that, it does really just stick in my craw because how could we allow this to happen? How? How could we allow this nonsense to happen?
If you were to look at the Labour Party as in itself, look at what this Prime Minister did to pretty much his father, Kenny Anthony. He pretty much, we could just call him Judas right now because he betrayed his own political father. And you tell me you put somebody who you branded as a criminal when he was in opposition to you, you take him and put him in your house. That's your God dog. And after you never see, you never hear, you never know.
You deaf, dumb, blind, and mute.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Oui.
You know, I heard the guy come and say, "Oh, when the Charleston was the Prime Minister supported whatever." They asked him, "How many people have been deported under your administration?" "Oh, I don't know. I'll have to check." Look at how many lies the guy come and the lies and bluff he's throwing us. Somebody has so many blunders and he's still telling me that person is better than his competitor. Already. I think maybe I should just take a break.
Yeah.
I think I'll go for a breather. Maybe go for a walk.
We need a breather. We need to go for a walk because this thing is.
What is still regular global I just evaporate and work my way.
Man, show by show con hypo caller. God, yeah. Thank you so much for that contribution.
Thanks for taking my call and have a good one.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you,
Yeah.
caller.
We missed a call a while ago while he was on. The caller, is your chance. You can call back now. Somebody's saying Trump is saying to these guys that if you can accept criminals from Asia, then you can accept my criminals as well. Another person says, and PJP thinks that he is so smart. He has been lying to us for the longest while. He called for an address to the nation to just push that refugee gate on us. I don't think it's gate the person wanted to spell, but I think just like that. To me, there's more to come. Just wait. Something is not clear. Caller, none of it is clear. There are no details. I need to keep stressing that to you all. Somebody says, we will know when it hits home. That's for sure. Another person says, that's scary. When you think beyond what's happening here, will our crime rate skyrocket? We have a caller on the line. Good afternoon to you, caller. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
But depuis qui joue gentleman ka arrivé avant ladies, hein?
Lady and gentlemen.
That's right. Follow the protocol, caller. What is going on with you today? I rest my case, caller. Say toi ou Tale.
You are better.
Ou some say minister of planning, like moi just an architect, and kite by sa about me say.
Well, let me say good afternoon to the listeners out there. It's very interesting, what we're talking about this afternoon. I, on my own, have had so many questions, and I come up with certain, opinions on my own. Mm-hmm. But I have a question, and I would like to ask.
Go ahead.
Do you think if America has a deportee who's a Barbadian or from Saint-Jean, they will send them to St. Lucia? Don't you think they will just send them to St. Vincent or Barbados?
But hold on. Repeat the question.
If the US has a deportee, let's say a Belgian deportee or a Vincentian deportee, you think it's they will send them to Dominica or St. Lucia?
I doubt.
Do you think they'll just send them to the island?
Exactly.
So I'm saying, what one fool will tell me is the deportees from the region that these guys will send to our countries or those islands. Well, it would have to be those very same countries they are selling passport to that are allowing those people that are criminals to enter the US, and that is a payback. Yeah. You can sell passport to me, to people who are criminals to come to my country. Why can't you accept?
Exactly.
These deportees from different countries.
But
that's a good point.
That is a very good point, caller. But then again, and just hear me out. South America is in the region too, you know. And there are refugees from Venezuela, Colombia, El Salvador, Peru, Brazil. All of them are in the region. And many of them might not be able to go back to their country because maybe there is a threat against their lives.
Oh, yes.
So,
probably we might get Shaka on them back.
Who?
Shaka.
Who Shaka?
Bagalan watan konsen ese nou sa ki ka soti Mexico, Venezuela. Nou tout sav sa. Ou kompon?
Yep.
So, an nou pa fè excuse pou fè akodi se nou sa se telman bon moun. Paske si se nou sa te bon moun, yo bagay fè yo a desan kon refugee be tipoti. Yo ka chile yo la.
Sa vwe. Sa
ki ka ane la, ka chile sa wabou yon sa se payback. It is a payback. Okay? There are so many ways America could come down on these islands. But this is the very reason I can guarantee you. Okay? Did you ever hear anybody buy CIP passport from Barbados or St. Vincent or Grenada or from St. Lucia?
Nope.
Don't you hear it from Nigeria there? Senegal there, all those big countries in the Asian countries. We have heard instances where they held whoever, maybe from China in America, and they were as criminals.
That's true. You're very correct, caller.
That's what I'm saying. So when you see these guys that come and try to BS people,
bamboozle.
those ones who allow them to BS them, that's their problem. No, look at you personally, what's a BS motor? You pass a BS man. And then these guys are notorious for not speaking the truth.
Yeah.
They don't speak the truth. None of them. They don't speak the truth. They always wait last moment to come with a concoction, and they just send it to people. But
caller, they have fooled us repeatedly, and St. Lucians just make them fool us again on December 1st.
I tell you,
guys can come out bold-faced. Philippe Pierre can come out bold-faced and say, I am lying to y'all. Y'all know I'm lying to y'all, and y'all will vote me again. He can just come out and
caller, do not listen. Do not listen to Foster. I am telling you, the people that voted for PIP are the CIP voters. Okay? Solutions cannot be so stupid.
Let me say this. Let me end by saying this. It's only a fool that will allow a fool to fool him.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that call. Bye-bye. Oh, Lord have mercy. Let me tell you.
Philippe Pierre and the St. Lucia Labour Party were in the lion's den. Daniel was dropped down in the den, and there were about 10 hungry lions in the den. And by the time the pharaohs came the following morning, expecting to get no bones at all, when they opened the cover, they saw, you know what they saw? They saw Daniel lying across the back of a lion. They could not believe it. So we had the Labour Party cornered. And Philippe Pierre said he's winning 15, all 17 seats. But he can only muster 15 candidates. But they came out with a very elaborate plan. And like Beckles said in 2021, that plan was world class. King did his snake move in 2021, but Pierre did a money move in 2025. Those guys purchased, gave people 40 pieces of silver all over. Silver was being given, handed over for votes. All over. And those guys were not, the acolytes and the apostles were not even hiding to do that.
Nope.
Those guys were going out openly and giving people money. There are so many reports. I have a video there, I'll share it with you, Angie, of the air. But down the road, you'll hear a lot more about that video.
We have some messages that are coming in. Let me read them. So somebody is saying, I feel sorry for you, St. Lucians. I'm not ready to come back home, honestly. And murders in England are mostly stabbings. Angie mwen last turn BTs. Y'all forgetting one fundamental point. You can't read mate. He is a mystery.
Yeah. Not even his own family can understand him.
I don't even think he can read himself. You see, people keep talking about he's a mystery. You know what? Mysteries are not mysteries can be read. I've read enough mystery novels to know that. You know what cannot be read? Things that are illegible. Yeah. That's what cannot be read. Things that are not making sense. Another person is saying that's scary when you think beyond what's happening here. Will our crime rate skyrocket? Those international prisoners will target the homes of the elites, and the poor people might not be able to walk our streets. And that is a legitimate concern. But has the Prime Minister thought this through? Another person is saying, all that's happening in the country and the Chamber of Commerce remains quiet. All associations are missing in action. Can we just for a minute imagine if this was happening to our country under a UWP administration? What would this place be like today? I don't even want to imagine. There'll be riots in the streets. Somebody is agreeing and saying, so true. But honestly, this contributor is making a very important point. What if it was Alan Shasney in office and we are hearing this total and complete hogwash? Could you imagine?
It would have been war.
Could you imagine? And here's the thing. Before the election, the president of the Teachers Association, newly elected president, because the the election for president of the Teachers Association happened maybe a few months before or a year before the election. This gentleman has been consistently posting anti-UWP. Well, he says it's anti-Shasney rhetoric.
What's his name?
Schaefer Sylvester.
This man is a teacher, you know.
He is the president of the Teachers Association.
But he teaches. He's an active teacher.
He's a teacher, yes.
And he has not just been posting those things. Now you know. But surprisingly, no minister have found what he's saying.
Nothing. Because he's
supporting SLP.
His rhetoric is racially charged, UWP,
all the time.
Anti-Shasney. Well, he says he's against Shasney, but he made a post some time ago, just before the election. He posted, Alan Shasney wants the Americans to build a military base in St. Lucia. Now, I don't know where the gentleman got his information from, but he did make this statement. What I want to ask him specifically today, you are against American law enforcement in St. Lucia. Are you pro-American criminals?
Those guys.
And I really wish.
No matter if the guy is a teacher or he's a.
I really wish he can answer.
The guy is a sheep.
Because here's what I want to know. Is it better to have the deportees as opposed to their law enforcement? Because if we have an American base in St. Lucia, that base is an income generator because these officers will be spending money, right? They would be buying food, clothing, they would have entertainment, you know? There were employment opportunities for our people, advancement opportunities for our youth because they can now join the army and, advance themselves. You know, the U.S. military is responsible for the education of a lot of St. Lucians, But what benefit do we have accepting third country, not even our own, third country deportees or refugees, as some people want to say it? What benefit do we have in that scenario? Wouldn't it have been better to have a U.S. military base? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I prefer the military, to the deportees. What do you think?
Could we not have invited the Americans I don't know if it would have been worse, but I'm just thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Let us say the Americans had approached this government
Mm-hmm.
and tell them, listen, we're going to build a camp here or base here.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to buy land, or we're going to lease land from you.
Mm-hmm.
Some snake land in Denry.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to build our camp. We're going to send those people down here. We're going to finance them. We're going to feed them.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have your people work there.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to the government taking it on their responsibility to do that.
I don't even know. I don't even know what is going on through the
Angie,
minds.
some time ago,
Mm-hmm.
I recall the former superintendent, well, he wasn't superintendent of prison. How do they call him? Director of Bodily.
Mm-hmm. Are you speaking about Mr. Yad, or are you speaking about the one that was in the military?
The one that was in the military.
Uh-huh.
What was his name?
I don't
He's
remember.
still around. I know Gus Small is passed, but not him.
I don't remember. But I know who you're speaking about because this guy had trained in the States. And
yes, we had a program at the time. It was Sky FM, and he said he was talking about the logistics of the prison,
Mm-hmm.
how much it costs to feed one prisoner a day. That's a tremendous cost, you know.
Of course.
And you mentioned it earlier, we have nearly 500 people, or if not more,
in prison.
in prison.
So
How much, you know how much it costs to feed the prison population per day? So we are going to agree to take third country nationals, and like the caller said, it's not Bajans that they're going to send, because those are people that they cannot go back to the country
that's why I'm
for
saying.
whatever reason.
That's why I'm
Or
saying.
they don't have traveling documents. They have been in the States for so long that they don't even remember where they came from.
That's why I am saying El Salvador, Peru, Mexico, Brazil, Colombia, Venezuela, all of these places are in the region too.
Yes.
Now, somebody saying salvation, very well explained. Another person said this could be a very good and interesting topic, but Flow is messing about. Well, it's not Flow, it's Digicel actually. We don't have Flow Internet. What we have is Digicel. And I apologize profusely on behalf of Digicel, but there really is nothing I can do to fix the problem, unfortunately. Another person says, so as it is Philip Pierre and Labour that's destroying our country's reputation with this travel ban or restrictions, the Labour supporters are all over the place spewing crap like a visa is not a path to salvation. What kind of ignorance is this? Shaking my head.
Remember when Richard Frederick lost his visa? Richard Frederick was forced to resign, you know. Pressure from America, SLP, because he said a minister ought to have a visa. All of a sudden, that same Richard Frederick doesn't have a visa, or was denied for the 99th time.
Listen.
A visa is no longer important because he's in SLP now.
Do you remember back when this whole visa thing started with Richard Frederick, the letter that came from the United States said that this man will
never get a visa.
Be issued a visa for as long as he lives.
But you see,
do you recall that the letter also said that his daughter was attempting to file for him, and if she puts in that application, her visa, her green card will be revoked?
Yes, but it took Philip Pierre and the Labour Party to go and disrupt and corrupt the American system and cause Richard Frederick to end up in America again.
And the man did not.
And that would happen again. Let's see if it will happen again.
Do you recall that they were warned never to try that again?
Let's see if Richard Frederick will ever put his foot under this new administration in America with all those visa issues going on. Let us see if Philip Pierre can pull that hat trick, that rabbit out of that long hat that he's wearing again. Well, I giving up. I voted for Philip Pierre next year.
if he can
pull that out again.
If he can pull it off. I need to ask you a very specific question.
Don't think I ever voted for Philip
No,
Pierre.
no. You mad, Foster. Come on now. I would never insult you like that. The question I want to ask you is, what do you think about Philip J. Pierre giving himself the Ministry of Constituency Development? Oh, I forgot. I know which ministry. Hold on. Before I tell you that, Ian. I hope you're listening, because now I remember which ministry will be monitoring these people. The Ministry of People Empowerment. Oh, you don't know we have that ministry now?
Let me tell you, once Philip Pierre is in power, anything can happen.
We have, the Prime Minister is the Minister of Finance, Justice, National Security.
You mean he took
Constituency Development?
He kept National Security?
Constituency Development.
My God.
And People Empowerment. And this is the ministry that will take care of those deportees. The Ministry of People Empowerment.
Well, I tell you, that's why I tell you, I want him to build that camp over the Marshall grounds. Build it on columns, on pillars. So the surface will still be there. And put all the refugees above the players, the footballers.
Now you have people here agreeing with you. Somebody is saying that's exactly right. They are waiting for Shas in order to create a campaign narrative. Another person is saying he should build it there for true so he can supervise them himself. Foster, you are corrupting my audience, Foster. You are corrupting my audience.
Charlie Chaplin. Philip Pierre is a Charlie Chaplin man,
So answer the question, Foster. How do you feel about Philip J. Pierre giving himself the portfolio of constituency development?
Let me tell you something, Angie. You see, Philip Pierre.
Don't say bad words, sir, Foster. You know you already.
I don't even want my
Foster,
brains.
I'm looking at you.
My brains cannot even.
Foster, I am looking at you. And I seen a wheel turning in the side by your temple there on the left side.
There are so many things I want to see.
I know, that's... and I see that wheel grinding there, like the clutch riding. Foster, just be aware that we are on Facebook. And we are on...
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yes. So that little wheel, that wheel I see that grinding there, that riding the clutch. Try and hold it, Foster. But still, give your opinion as kindly as you can, if that's possible.
On his ministries?
Constituency development.
I believe that Philip Pierre is aware that he has failed as a politician. Philip Pierre constituency is the worst of the 17. I think he has admitted that. He has seen that. And it's only because of Peter Chiquot in the last election that Philip Pierre tried to do something. I tell you, after 6 p.m., you'd see guys bush shaking, and you don't think it's a manikou that's in the bush. Somebody is trying to plan a new project.
In the bush?
In the bush there for Philip Pierre. This is the only time in Philip Pierre's career, political career, that Philip Pierre actually did something.
But Foster...
in the last 3 months of before the election.
But it seems he still doesn't know where the BMAC site is, because I passed there recently.
Well, there are trees growing there now. I think the next time he send equipment there, he will have to send some good chainsaws to cut the trees that are growing on that BMAC. But he still have about 5,000 boulders there that he need to carry away. So I am not surprised that Philippe Pierre does not know where BMAX is. I still have a question for him. What happened to the $9 million of the Russians?
Mijajlovic, he wasn't.
And I know the person who was fronting that project.
He was an Eastern European, not a Russian. But I mean, I remember he said, "No, that's true. We never knew what happened to this money, but we do know
the guys took the money. That's what
we do know that the money was accepted, because he said, and I quote, as long as it cleared the bank, he in that." End quote. So,
but while he was saying that, there was a minister of government that the bank refused the money because he said the money was not clean. But he never said anything about that minister's money.
Well, the bank, you're talking about the bank who said to the minister, "Come back and take your money, because
come take your money is not clean.
Your money is not clean."
Yes.
Now, I don't understand that logic, because let me just tell you a little bit of my history. Before I joined the media, I used to do sales, and I used to sell saltfish. Now, you know, saltfish have a little stench. And I remember this one time, you know, they used to have that flea market in on Jeremy Street. So early morning, Foster, I had maybe about I bought maybe about 20 cases or 10 to 20 cases of saltfish, and I went down there, and we started, me and a group of friends, we started selling saltfish to people. And when we were done, after we shared everything, I had to go and put the money in the credit union. When I got to the credit union, my hands, my clothes, everything had the smell of saltfish. And when I wrote out my slip, I gave it to the people and I handed them the money. And let me tell you something, Foster. The teller was counting that money, not even with gloves. She was counting the money, and people on the line were saying, "Who that smelling of saltfish there like that?" But they never refused my money, you know. They didn't tell me take it back, it's not clean. Yeah. And I know it was dirty for sure. It was smelling of saltfish. So why did they give the minister back his money? Did it have mud?
No, it didn't have saltfish smell. What the minister was accused of handling, it wasn't saltfish. You were selling saltfish?
I was selling saltfish by the market.
Let me tell you, that money, if they scan that money and they pass it under certain machines, that thing reading positive.
What smell did the money have? Because they accepted. Let me tell you, the teller stood there and counted the money with all the saltfish smell. The salt was still on some of the money, and they never come. And the people on the line were complaining. And it's the money that's smelling of saltfish, because I had already washed my hands, taken a bath, you know. I fix up myself and I go to the bank. But the money was still in the plastic bag that I had it, and I just gave them the plastic bag. But they didn't give me the money back, and I know it was dirty because you could smell the saltfish smell. So what smell did the minister's money have? If they're accepting saltfish, they can accept anything, you know. Was it smelling of smoke area?
The entire SLP knows, because they're the ones who accuse him. And he's still there. He's still selling whatever he was selling to get that same money.
Somebody's responding to you, your comment earlier. They're saying he is not mad. He is a man that cannot think for himself. He's a follower. What the other PMs in the region do or say, he follow, and sadly, his cabinet doesn't care. Once they're getting to do what they want, well, all those that fought, they would get a piece of the pie. It's not going to be who get, but the begging will be so loud, folks will have to get earplugs. Too much crying and yelling in the country. Well, I don't know how loud the begging will be. Somebody's asking, are these people going to be rapists or murderers? Another person is asking if Flo is trying to sabotage us, but